Hey, welcome to MLSsoccer.com's Playoff Central. I'm Katie Witham along with Andrew Wiebe, and we have FC Dallas headed to Seattle to face the Sounders on Monday after that 1-1 draw in Frisco. Something is telling me the importance of road goals is going to play a huge part in the outcome of this second leg of the Western Conference semifinals. Andrew.
Yeah, classic away goal from Seattle. Really the only team so far in the playoffs that have got one. Of course, New England dropped 4 on Columbus. But just the one. But the thing is, it only really holds up in a scoreless draw. 1 goal from Dallas at CenturyLink. And the Supporters Shield holders are back at square one, plus facing a deficit. Now, does anyone think that this one is going to end scoreless? No, me either. That road goal was nice, and it robbed Dallas of some momentum. But if I'm Sigi Schmid, I go into this second leg assuming it will not tip the scales.
Well, Sigi Schmid, after the first leg, said that the plan wasn't necessarily to sit back and counter, but rather the plan was to sit back and wait to see what Dallas brought to them. I can't imagine that's going to be the plan in the second leg.
Can't be, right? I mean, Seattle fans might riot at CenturyLink if that happens. I don't think it's going to end scoreless, like I said. Not with the Sounders' attack, not with the home field advantage, and not with a sometimes shaky D that Dallas, well, they're more than capable of taking advantage of. With that in mind, the pressure, as I think everyone in the MLS world knows, it's really on Seattle. And the pressure on them is to come out and build a lead so they can begin to assuage those long-standing playoff anxieties. Dallas, they'll gladly take a goal and pack it in, and you can't blame them. But Seattle really need to be the drivers in this game. It's really up to them at home.
Well, for FC Dallas, Michel has been productive, scored 2 of their 3 postseason goals, but I think for them to advance, you have to see more from Fabian Castillo and Blas Perez. Mauro Diaz, he's back from suspension. Is he the man to springboard him?
He's definitely the man to spring him out in the open field because you can't rely on Michel's PK abilities. That's just not going to happen every game, and you have 90 minutes to get it done. Diaz, on the other end, he's the guy that takes his team from good, which they were most of the season, to potentially great. From even a satisfying semifinal run, that's status quo, to MLS Cup. And it's really not hard to figure out why. He gets the best out of the attacking players around him. You mentioned him, Fabian Castillo, Blas Perez. They may not have said as much verbatim, but losing the Argentine for that first leg, it was a massive blow for FC Dallas. Just look at the difference between them with and without Diaz in the starting 11 this season. Just 4 fewer wins in 16 fewer games. The same number of shots, but almost a full goal more per game with their number 10 on the field. You can chalk that up certainly to the quality of chances. You can also chalk it up to the fact that they got 4 more fouls won, and thus more opportunities to take advantage of those set-piece targets. We said it in the other preview, they're the best in the league from dead balls.
Okay, so Mauro Diaz is the wild card. But even if we see him back at his best, it may not be enough if Seattle Stars are at their best. Do we need to see a more active Clint Dempsey at CenturyLink?
Yeah, there's no doubt. We certainly need to see that. Seattle needs to see that to get by in this game. 37 touches in the first leg. That's his fewest this year when he plays 90 minutes. They need him involved. And surprisingly, and this goes for Obafemi Martins as well, he was actually more productive on the road this season than in the comfy confines in Seattle. That surprised me, no doubt about it. Go figure. And look, Dusanoba, they're going to have their hands full too. This is a Dallas team that knows how they want to defend now with Matt Hedges and Zach Lloyd up the gut. They had that central zone locked down in the first leg. That's where Seattle operates. In 10 games together, that central back pairing for Dallas, just 9 goals allowed. Still, the Sounders are going to believe that they're the team to spoil that defensive record. Of course, they'll have to keep Diaz under wraps. We talked about that, as well as Perez, Castillo, and Andres Escobar. That's no easy task. But look, they believe, they think, they better get it done because their fans expect it at this point in the season.
I think, especially when those fans pack it in there at CenturyLink, this is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. What's your prediction, though? How's this game going to turn out?
Look, Seattle's going through. I think Dallas has had a magnificent season. They've done what they needed to do to get to this point, but it isn't going to be enough when the chips are down in Seattle. I think Diaz will change the game for them, but at the end of the day, Seattle can outscore just about any team in this league. They've won a lot of games this year, 4-2, 4-1, 3-1. I think it's a high-scoring game, but I think Seattle moves on to the Western Conference Finals.
High-scoring game. Okay, what's the scoreline?
Oh, I'm going to stick to 3-1.
3-1.
How about that?
I agree with you, but I think it's going to be 1-0. I think they keep the clean sheet, and Seattle does move on. Well, that's what we think. We want to know what you guys think, though. Seriously, let us know. Leave it in the comments below, and then don't forget to watch. The second leg of the Western Conference semifinal kicks off 10:30 p.m. Eastern Monday night, November 10th on NBC Sports Network, UDN, and then also in Canada you can watch on TSN 2. But as always, keep it locked right here, MLSsoccer.com, for all your playoff coverage.